Good evening. We are preparing to start our meeting for this evening for Wednesday, June 12th. Do we please have call to order for roll call?
Commissioner White?
Present.
Commissioner Winfrey?
Here.
Commissioner Oliver? Commissioner Brown?
Here.
Commissioner Brown?
I'm here.
Commissioner Avery?
Here.
Commissioner Shoemaker?
Present.
Commissioner Kuzma?
Here.
Commissioner Whitehill? Commissioner Davis? Here.
Thank you. Will now be led in invocation by Commissioner Lloyd.
First of all, pray, gracious God, thank you so much for gifting to us a gift that no other competitor can provide, and that's the gift that we live on another day. We thank you that you've allowed us to come to this day, this ribbon cutting day of the Genesee County Juvenile Justice Center. We pray for every youth who may enter this center at any point in their life, Lord, that they'll get the encouragement, that they'll get the equipping mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, that they will be rehabilitated and live lives that are not just happy, healthy, but also whole. Now we ask that you will be with us in this meeting, give us divine wisdom and understanding, knowledge, to be able to make decisions in your spirit and in your likeness. That's our prayer in the evening.
Now we'll have our pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next, we'll have approval of the meeting minutes from May 22nd. Support. Okay, it's been moved, support. Any questions, discussions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have an opportunity for public address. We ask that you respect our 2-minute limit for public address. So anyone that's interested in public address may please come to the stand. And offering of a second time and third time public comments now closed. Next, we move on to communications. We have approval of.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, there's item number 1 and number 2 are just notifications of emergency purchases. Just trying to do it a little bit differently so the board is aware of those emergency purchases. And those memos explain the reason why. Item number 3 is an action item. So we're going to take it.
Okay, so we have the approval of purchase orders been explained for both 1 and 2. So for approval of purchase order for Serve Coach Clean, would you recommend those action number 3? Okay. Okay, so action order, we have approval of this designated June as Pride Month in Genesee County, resolution 617.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion and support. Any questions, discussions? Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My question is, this resolution's been passed 2 other times since I've been down here. What's the purpose of the third time?
Everyone here?
It's hard to hear.
Yeah, well, let me just not use it. So, since I'm the maker of the motion and also the author of the resolution, my rationale, legislative bodies routinely at the state level, national level, local level, adopt resolutions annually recognizing significant moments in the life of their community and the people of their community. So that's why I'm bringing it forward. I'll bring it every year I'm here.
I will object to being brought forward here. I don't less than I'm not going to say a lot. I think I said a lot last year. Just the fact is this: that as a Christian, and there are members of our community who are Muslim or Jewish or various faiths, their God and my God are very clear about this. This is a sin. If you were Bible, Leviticus 20:13 states so. Romans, there are many other chapters of the Bible that state this. asking to celebrate at the government level something we view and our God views as a sin. I said it last year, it's no different than you asking me to celebrate if I was an adulterer and saying that it's okay to have an adulterer. It's very clear. I believe people have the right to do what they do, but I do not believe at this level of government this is something we should be celebrating. And as long as we keep bringing it forth, I will keep bringing this statement up. So I thank you, Mr. Chair, for allowing me to speak. Thank you, Mr. Wade, for the open conversation.
Let me just add that I appreciate Sean's honesty. I said so last year before the vote, and I want you to always speak your truth. I will just say for myself that as a governmental body, we do not practice theocracy. As a governmental body, we believe in liberty and justice for all, which is what we just pledged allegiance to. We also swear an oath to the Michigan Constitution and its laws, which protect LGBT people from discrimination. We also swear an oath to the U.S. Constitution, which says we the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish this Constitution of the United States. And part of that formation of a more perfect union is to continuously include people who have been left out and people who have been discriminated against, people who were not allowed to be married until 2015. So I'll speak my truth, totally respect what you're saying. I will add that I have many Christian friends, probably most of my friends are Christian. They attended my wedding, and they believe in my civil rights. I have Muslim friends. I've been out to the mosque in my own district, invited, even though they know I'm an openly gay man. And I have Hindu friends who've been to the temple, which is also close to my district. So I do believe that there are religious folks who support love, and they love me and they love others like me. And so I would hope that we, as the government, embrace everyone in our community, including the LGBT folks that are with us, because they add to the quality of life in Genesee County. And I would certainly hope that people will think that I add to the life of this community, people like me. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Just to extend on that, I mean, we've kind of like moved forward with the DEI group that we have established here in the county with the help of Clerk Clemens. And, you know, it was something new for me, but equality is one of the big things of DEI, and I feel as people should be who they want to be. You know, my brother, as an open gay man, doesn't harm anybody, and he loves everybody. And if you've ever seen my posts with my brother, you know, he's full of love and supports his choice. And so basically, it's kind of like doing a couple different things. You're giving up the choice of what they want, what people want to be, and everybody should love each other in that way. So, I mean, I know it's going to go through, but I think we should. If we're going to have a DEI, we need to follow our rules of equality.
Thank you to all of my colleagues who have spoken. You know, I regurgitate comments when we passed this before. You know, I am an ordained minister, pastor, elder in the Christian church. And one of my pastoral philosophies speaks to not just my responsibility to share the gospel of Jesus Christ as it is written, but also to give those that may hear a sermon preached the grace and the space to live out their own convictions according to their belief and their desire. And saying that, that's just one reason why I'll be supporting this resolution tonight, because I believe that that just as Commissioner Shoemaker has his thought process and his belief and his convictions, and you know, Dale and me and Ellen and others, I believe that you everybody has a right to that, and the freedom to express what their belief is without being ridiculed for it and so on and so forth. So I really appreciate the respectful, kind of exchange and perspective that's been shared, because I think, everybody has their right. The other thing is that our county, I know, is an inclusive county, and a number of my friends, Commissioner Wales, one of my closest friends and brothers, and I actually said a prayer at his wedding when he heard the blessed food, because I was hungry myself, and I thought it was an honor. But in saying that, I don't believe that this resolution, for me, in any way, appends, what I preach and such, but extends the same grace and respect, because there's some stuff the Bible says that, I'll just leave it there in terms of, I'll leave it there. I was telling myself. But anyway, thank you. I look forward to supporting this and those across the county that will, rejoice in this.
Any other questions? Okay, Commissioner.
And I appreciate the time for everybody. It's not, instead of being more Q&A type of situations for saving your opinion type of thing. I appreciate it, Mr. Chair. Several things. When something like this doesn't always run up, it always comes back to the fact that I heard the term love, and we should love. Like, if you're opposed to this, you don't love something. We talked about DEI and other issues of being opposed to this. It's very upsetting to me that every time you bring something up like this, if you are in my position or someone, 47% of our county that probably thinks like I do, has an opinion like I do, I don't have compassion for all that. But God's word in my mind is true in all of it. It doesn't change, it's forever the same, constant, formerly unchanging. His word is his word, and never will. It's not my opinion, this is the book, the Bible being preached from some of you. This is what it is. I'm not saying that as far as civil liberties, the deal deserves all the civil liberties that he can have. And anyone else who wants to live their life can pursue that. But the fact is this, you are asking for a celebration of something many people in our community view as a sin. And that's where it is. I don't disagree. Like I told him last year, I appreciate the importance of these all allowed me to speak last year. And that's integrity, something you can't replace or forget. But the fact is this is not my opinion. This is God's. If you show up to church, a lot of it Christian life and all the other stuff, and whatever you want to do, but this is what it is. And I'm not saying he doesn't have the right to do that, because that's in our Constitution. What I am saying is the fact is you're asking something. And that's when people come into these buildings and the flags are there, or this flag is there, that can be offensive. And I said on DEI, and I was there when DEI was formed. And there's a lot of people, and Commissioner Clemens sat there, I'm sorry, Clerk Clemens, I apologize. And we had conversations, but there are a lot of people left out of that. And I was told don't have so many. Because we talked about people with Islamic faith. We talked about people with Jewish faith. We talked about those things, and those people weren't included either. There's a lot of them people leave out. In a sense, we had our appointment of commissioners, I realized that the deaf communities were really left out of our community. So I do understand that. I want to be inclusive to everybody. But what I found is if you are someone of faith down here in the county, or you are someone of conservative values, your opinion gets pretty shunned really fast. And I appreciate Mr. Wayhill last year for allowing me to speak when others didn't want me to. But I will continue to bring this up. But my real frustration is when I sit here and I hear the word of love, word of this, word of that, and this group, it seems that you want one thing and you're not. I wouldn't have love if you've read the New Testament of the Bible if I didn't tell you the truth of what Jesus Christ is and what he answers and what he says. Love is not, people who love me, my cousin told me flat out, we're like brothers, I'm gonna tell you, I did some stupid things in my life. You know what he did to me? I was mad because he told me the truth. He told me what it was. And he loves somebody, he told me the truth.
grandson of a minority group that was not mentioned in anything in DEI. I have a problem with that. I have a sincere problem with it. I kept my mouth shut. I have a problem with that. I only believe in one thing, and I'm a Christian. I am here serving as a government official. I swore that I would follow the Constitution of the United States. I think you quoted some of that. It says, all men are created equal. That's all I need to know. And each and every one of the men been by our Supreme Court has been defined as a, and that's all I need to know. I don't need to make any special recognition for anybody. I like everybody. I was just telling Michelle here, I don't know. At any rate, I think I've said enough, but that's just my feelings. That we don't need to do it every year for one. If we're going to do it, let's do it for every year. I mean, before I came here, I moved. I've done this before. I've talked to staff about it. How many special recognitions are there this month alone? Are we going to do a resolution for them? Do we really believe in DEI? Let's do them all. Instead of just one.
Thank you, Commissioner. Anyone else with questions or discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion is passed. Next, we move on to our Resolution 621, consideration of the Freedom of Information Act appeal.
Mr. Chairman, Corporation Counsel Brian McMillan will be able to speak to this and what we're asking.
Sure. I'll try to make this as quick as possible, but under the Freedom of Information Act, almost anybody can submit a request for public records to a public body. However, the Michigan State Legislature has determined that judiciary is accepted from the definition of public body. So what does that mean? That means that nobody can submit a FOIA request to a court or a part of the court. So in this instance, somebody submitted a FOIA request for the front of the court records. And as its name suggests, the front of the court is part of the judiciary. And so the county's FOIA board either denied the request. Under FOIA, the requester can appeal that denial to the head of the public body. In this instance, this board is the head of Genesee County, so that's why this is in front of you. And without getting into the weeds of everything, I would advise you to vote to deny the appeal because it was denied originally correctly. And in reality, even if you wanted to grant this appeal, this board has no authority to tell the front of the court, which is a non-public entity, a public body under FOIA, to give non-public records to anyone. So I can answer any questions if anybody has any.
Or,
We have motion and support, table, any special discussion? Commissioner Schubert.
You were proposing state law, it was a federal law.
I don't know because we're not a federal body, we're governed by state law.
The state, federal supersedes on some instances.
Well, in some instances, but with the Federal Freedom of Information Act, it applies only to federal public bodies. So we're not governed by the federal authority.
I'd like to amend my motion and move the denial of this appeal.
Support. I apologize, Mr. Chair,
So I made the motion incorrectly. It should have been a motion to deny the appeal. I moved it for approval because that's, I don't know what we want.
Thank you for clarity on that. Anyone else? All those in favor, say aye. Opposed? That is passed. Okay, next we move to our new economic development, led by Dr. Beverly Brown, Chairperson, Dale Wade, Vice Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Resolution, I move resolution 2024-549, approval of a request by Genesee County's Metropolitan Planning Commission to travel to the Michigan Transportation Planning Association 2024 conference in Muskegon, Michigan. The dates for travel are July 30th through August 2nd, 2024. Total cost of travel for 5 staff members not to exceed $4,585. This is grant funded.
That's far.
Okay, we have a motion and support. Any questions, discussions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes.
I move resolution 2024-555, approval of the 2024 Genesee County Action Plan for the Community Development Program.
Okay, then move support. Any questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Is there any report from the committee?
No reports.
Thank you. Next, move on to our finance committee, led by Art Kuzino, chairperson, and Dr. Billy Brown, vice chair.
I move 24-411, approval of purchase order to Genesee Community College for the fiscal year ending in 2024 in an amount not to exceed $35,050 to provide for police academy costs. The cost of this purchase order is paid from the following. Support.
Move and supported. Any questions?
Mr. Chair, I'm willing to abstain, given that my community college is unclear.
Okay, anyone else? All those in favor? Opposed? And abstained?
I move resolution 24-421, approval of the agreement between Genesee County and Harvard Care Civic in an amount not to exceed $228,637.21 to provide for the purchase of 28 secure transmission devices for election data. The cost of this purchase will be paid from the account system.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes.
Move resolution 24-524, approval of a request by Genesee County's Drain Commissioner to refinance 2014 and 2015 series bonds.
It's been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes.
Move resolution 24-525, approval of a request by Genesee County's Water and Waste Agency to issue limited tax general obligation bonds for the Jersey Creek Interceptor Project. Support.
Move and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes.
Move resolution 24-540, approval of a request to create post and fill one secretary position in Genesee County's Health Department. This is grant funded. Support.
Move and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes.
Move 24-554, 40 to receive and file a copy of the paid county bills for the weeks ending 5/5/24, 5/12/24, and 5/19/24, in a total amount of $861.35.
It's moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes.
I move resolution 24-556, approval of the request to create, post, and fill one health educator position in Genesee County's Health Department. The cost of this is fully paid. Support.
Moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes.
Move resolution 24-563, approval of a proposed amendment to the 23-24 appropriations resolution for various line items as described in the tax budget adjustment.
Support. Been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes.
Move resolution 24-565, approval of a contract between Genesee County and Land Grant in an amount not to exceed $1,795,825 to provide for auditing services for fiscal years ending in 2024 through 2028. The cost of this agreement will be paid from various accounts.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes.
Move resolution 24-567, approval of a request by Genesee County's Information Technology to travel to the Michigan Government Information Management Services Conference in Boyne, Michigan. The Dates of travel are September 15th through the 18th, 24. Total cost for 4 participants not to exceed $2,950. This is a budgeted expense.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes.
Move resolution 24-578, approval of a request by Genesee County's Health Department to create, post, and fill 5 youth decoy positions. Support.
Moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Any report from the committee?
I just wanted to make a comment. I didn't get a chance to talk earlier at the ribbon cutting ceremony, but we started talking about this as a board when I was in Public Works in 2016, and then the judges, we were talking to them early on, but it's been a long process, and 8 years later, here it is, it's done. And there's a lot of people that can take credit for it. The board had to change their priorities back throughout time to make it happen. And various commissioners would change and et cetera, but we held it together long enough to make it happen. I'm very thankful for it. I'm very proud of this board. Of course, the courts.
Appreciate that, Commissioner. Okay, next we move on to our Government Operations Committee. We have the Wade Hill Chairperson, Rico Lloyd Vice.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move resolution 2024-440, approval of an agreement between Genesee County and Meridian Land Surveying in an amount not to exceed $68,530 to provide remonumentation services. The cost of this agreement will be paid for from the following account.
Support.
To move and support. Any questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes.
I move resolution 2024-514, approval of an agreement between Genesee County and Maddox and Smith in an amount not to exceed $19,030 to provide remonumentation services. The cost of this agreement will be paid from the following account.
Support.
To move and support. Any questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes.
I move resolution 2024-515, approval of an agreement between Genesee County and Michigan Surveying in an amount not to exceed $22,490 to provide remonumentation services. The cost of this agreement will be paid for from the following accounts.
Support.
To move and support. Any questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes.
Mr. Chair, I move resolution 2024-535, approval of a purchase order to Berger Chevrolet for the fiscal year ending 2024 to provide for the purchase of 1 truck in Genesee County Sheriff's Department. The cost of this purchase is grant funded.
Support.
To move and support. Any questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes.
I move resolution 2024-574, approval to accept amendment number 1 to the Access and Visitation Grant from the State Court Administrative Office for fiscal year 2024.
Support.
To move and support. Any questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes.
Mr. Chair, I proudly move resolution 2024-582, approval of an amendment to Genesee County's purchasing policy to include prevailing wage as a requirement in all projects.
Support.
To move and support. Any questions?
I don't have a question.
Commissioner Lloyd.
I don't have a question, but I have a comment. I'm excited to be able to support this today. As you know, this resolution establishes wage and benefit floors for employees who are workers as part of contracts that we issue as a part of our county government. And as you know, university and even across the country, for a long time, this has been an issue, and then states and even the federal government began to address this. And one of the main pieces with this really, it takes out of the hands of sometimes greedy contractors that want to pocket all of the profit. It takes the ability for them to pay their employees poverty wages, and they'll be forced to pay wages that are regulated by various agencies, including the federal government. And in California, particularly, when they addressed the issue of prevailing wage, it actually resulted in the area of construction work, and workers in construction, receiving about 50% more in wages as a result of that legislation, but it also resulted in them receiving double the amount of benefits that they receive. And so I think this goes a long way in us saying, not only do we want contractors to benefit from the contracts they have with us, but we're doing our part to mandate that they treat their employees fairly by paying them a living wage for fair day's work. Thank you.
Anyone else? Commissioner?
Through the chair, this is just a general question. How do you audit this? How is this audited to make sure they're doing this? Is it just for me, putting myself with the business hat on going, anytime you pass something like this or you push something forward like this, how are we going to make sure they're actually doing it and not, not to say some people are scrupulous, but I just wonder how we.
Yeah, so for our construction projects, we've worked with Michigan Fair Contracting, who comes in and does an audit of the certified payroll for all of our projects. And what that allows for is if somebody makes a complaint, says that they're not getting the appropriate wage for that job, Michigan Fair Contracting, at no cost to the county, comes in and does that audit. And if it's found to be true, then they go after the company that is doing what they should not be doing.
Do we have to post that on the job site, what that might be? It's well, this is put minimum wage, you have all these others, but being on our job sites, we actually post that.
Yeah, I don't think that we do, but
I think we know if they're being unfairly treated or fairly paid. That's all I think. I just thank you for it.
Mr. Chair,
Anyone?
I've been fortunate to be in the company of labor lately, so they're on my mind when I say I probably make the motion on this. Everything that Mr. Wade said, I echo, and simply say that if men and women are paid fairly based on their work, not only do they and their families succeed, but the community succeeds. So I'm very happy to be supportive of this.
Anyone else? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Mr. Chair, I move resolution 2024-587, approval of a request by the Chief Public Defender for 3 staff members to travel to the National Association for Public Defense, NAPD, We the Defenders Conference in Detroit, Michigan. The dates of travel are August 12th to the 15th, 2024. Total cost for this travel is fully grant funded with an amount not to exceed $3,700.
Okay, we have move and support. Any questions or discussions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Is there any report from the committee?
The government is out. That's all.
Thank you. We're good. Very good. Next, we'll have our Human Services Committee, where we have Charles Winfrey as chairperson and Sean Shoemaker as vice.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move resolution 24487, approval of a grant award from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services in the amount of $81,666 to provide the essential services to Healthy Start participants at Genesee County's Health Department. The budget is attached.
Support.
So move supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
I move resolution 24518, approval of a grant award from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services in the amount of $197,676 to provide for breastfeeding peer counseling at Genesee County's Health Department.
So move supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
I move resolution 24542, approval of a grant award from United Way of Genesee County in the amount of $30,000 to provide for shelter and utility assistance for qualified Genesee County residents. Budget for this grant is attached. Support.
So move supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I move resolution 24564, approval of a request by Genesee County's Health Department to travel to the 2024 Ethics Users Group Meeting in Verona, Wisconsin. Dates of travel are August 18th to the 21st, 24th. Total cost of travel for 4 staff members not to exceed $12,500, and it is grant funded.
Been moved and supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
I move resolution 24569, approval of a grant award from the Michigan Department of Education in the amount of $91,017 to provide the funding of the Genesee County's Emergency Food Assistance Program. The budget for this grant is attached.
Support.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I move resolution 24597, approval of the 2024 Genesee County Veterans Micro Grant Program.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any questions?
Mr. Chair, if I might make a comment, I said this last week, I think, but this idea came to me from a constituent. We used to actually be a member of this commission, Ted Henry, who was out of Clayton Township, and he's involved with the VFW out there, and they've got some needs, nonprofit organization, and talked with Mr. Freeman about it. Actually, Commissioner Kuzma was involved at the very outset of discussions on this topic, and we have a fund balance in the Veteran Services Millage, and so this would take a small amount of that fund balance and make it available for competitive grant making, up to $10,000, I believe it is, for each nonprofit that has a veteran service component. They can approach the county and submit. So thank you, Derek, for working on this. Veterans Services Director, Derek Ritter, and thank you to Mr. Freeman for making it happen. And I'm looking forward to seeing projects come in through the proposal process.
Anyone else? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Is there any work committee?
No report.
Next, we have our Public Works Committee, which is led by Ellen Ellenberg as chairperson and Michelle Davis as vice.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to move resolution 2024-559, approval of agreement between Genesee County and Merit Network in the amount not to exceed $162,625 to provide consulting services for Genesee County's broadband initiative. Support.
To move, supported. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I'd like to move resolution 2024-568, approval of an agreement between Genesee County and UKG Chronos in the amount not to exceed $134,720 to provide for annual licensing and conversion costs. This agreement is paid through Republican Council.
To move, supported. Any questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes.
I'd like to move resolution 2024-591, approval of a request to enter into negotiations for the sale of the Bergen Health and Administration Building. Support.
To move, supported. Any questions or discussions? All those in favor? Oh, sorry, Commissioner Ray.
As I said last meeting, this process, I know we passed a resolution to deal with this a while back. I'm not comfortable with this process. I think it shows favoritism to certain groups who have managed to grab a large share of property within the city and around. I think this also, and Commissioner Kuzma was nice enough to speak with Commissioner Lloyd and myself about this, but I still don't like how this is done. There's other ways we can do this. We talk about being inclusive to our community, we talk about minority ownership, but yet it still continues to be the same basic group of people that keep gobbling up everything. I would like to see us looking at maybe projects where we take smaller business owners or different groups of people that are not included in the development of Flint and the surrounding area and offer to these people first. We could even do things as far as actually loans to help them get going, to encourage not just minority ownership, but wealth with different groups throughout our community, instead of the same group of wealthy individuals coming and gobbling Flint and the surrounding areas. So for that, the same reason I voted on the resolution before, I will vote on this one. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Ray. Anyone else? Commissioner Lloyd?
I do want to thank Commissioner Kuzma, because when we discussed this in our last meeting, even as part of really appreciate you publicly, I would say, listen to those concerns and engage in that. You know, I do have concerns with this. My understanding is that our policy allows for it, but I have some fundamental challenges with that. You know, I believe that, you know, the folks who have expressed interest, have great plans and would do great, with these properties, both Burton Health and Burton in our current county administration building. But fundamentally, it's a challenge for me not to allow, you know, all residents, business owners, entities to be able to express their interest, and then we make a decision as to what's best, what the best plan is. The other piece of this is understanding the actual value of the administration building particularly, you know, and knowing what our floor is, because our vote tonight is to, you know, authorize, you know, our office to enter the negotiations on the sale of the building, but not knowing what the value of the properties are. I don't even know what the floor is, and I think that's dumb. That's just a responsible route for us to go. I manage properties with UAW worldwide, and have responsibility for selling any local units that close, and other properties that we have, and that's a starting place in terms of understanding what the appraisal is, determining what the sale price is going to be, and then enter the negotiations on the sale. And so, the other thing is that with the administration building particularly, I'm not sure that there won't be other interest, not just from folks who may want to purchase, but also interest from the public as to what happens to that building once we vacate it. I have total confidence in our office and Mr. Freeman in negotiating the best deals and so on and so forth. I have no concerns about that. It's just about the process. And so tonight, I want to be consistent with that conviction. I'm not going to be supporting this resolution as it stands. The other thing I'd like to see is for the policy maybe come back for additional discussion, so that we can just make sure what we have is the most responsible path forward for properties, you know, that we're selling.
Mr. Chair, I guess I have a couple of questions. So we do have a policy. It was adopted 6 months or more ago, probably, which is kind of immaterial. The policy is around property owned by the county that we decide, or that the county decides, staff and administration look at the building, look at the land and say, it's no longer of use to the county. And so the policy outlines how we can dispose of it, usually through a sale. I don't think there's anything in there, you know, to these gentlemen's points about, you know, making it public or public notice. And, you know, at the time we declare it to be not usable by the county, there might be, looking at the policy, a way to amend it to add something that makes it more public. But I also think that this is not to sell the properties to these organizations. It's to enter into negotiations. And it's my understanding that anybody want to buy the admin building, you can talk to him right now about it. So you can step forward now. Any entity, any organization that has an interest in it, as long as they have the wherewithal to purchase the Burton Health Clinic or the admin building, can come to the county through one of us or directly out of Mr. Freeman's office and say we have an interest. And then if it's a serious interest, I imagine he would come forward with a resolution saying, may I enter into negotiations? Is that fair to say?
Yes.
So I do agree that, you know, this is public in the sense that we've had discussions about it. People know we're moving to the tower. They obviously know the inferences. We're not going to have that huge
to separate the property. So the administration building and the jail was all one parcel. We had to separate that before we could go in to do an audit. We completed that, or not an audit, but an appraisal. We completed that now, so we could move forward with an appraisal.
So we do have an appraisal on both, or just the one?
Just the one, and we're working on the other.
And then I said that was the last thing. In the negotiations, is there room for a commissioner to be part of that?
I work for you, so if you want there to be room, then we will.
So I'm not volunteering, but we some strong interest to be at the table. I yield the floor.
Mr. Smith, or, I'm sorry, Mr. Kuzma, I'm sorry.
And staff, we did set a policy a while back, and our staff is following that policy. I don't know how, Commissioner Lloyd and Commissioner Clyde, you voted against the policy, but, once we make a decision as a board, our staff moves forward on it. And then every time something comes up, suddenly we start going, well, let's fine tune this or whatever, and our staff gets confused as to how to proceed and move forward. I don't know why, but, I've always been an issue person, whether I'm on the winning side of the boat or the losing side. Once this board has made a decision, that's how our staff is supposed to move forward, that's how we're supposed to move forward. Just because certain individuals at one point in time disagree with it, every time we go to do something, bring up those same grievances again. It almost reminds me about some of the discussion we had about Commissioner Whitehouse resolution earlier, complaining about doing it every year. Well, now we move forward and sell some properties. You start complaining about the same things that you complained about when we did the policy. So when's it end? Do we get bogged down in the constant discussions and never anything happening? I feel sorry for some of our staff at times because we do that to them. And I just want to move forward with the policy that we voted on in the past. Maybe at some point in time, I'm not going to entertain it today, and I'm not really going to entertain it even this year. But if you want to change the policy, don't do it every meeting. To try to get your little wish. And I understand each and every one of us is under different pressure from our constituents. I'm not, but some of us are. And so, you're always, we try to tweak it, for ourselves. And I guess that's part of being a board. But once a decision has been made, stick with it. Move forward. Not going to just move forward and talk with Josh. He is supposed to be in the process of still getting the quote on the admin building. But I don't know who got to rehearse who wanted, knowing that there'd be $2 or $3 million just to tear it down because of all the asbestos. And I'm going to bet it's worth $2 or $3 million. So somebody's going to have to put money into it. I'm not scared.
Sure.
Move forward, Josh.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Lloyd.
So just a couple things, appreciate all of the comments of my colleagues, a couple things. The U.S. Congress, U.S. Senate, our state representatives, our state senators, I'll use them for example. Their job is to adjust and amend laws. Every day in the halls of Congress and in the state capitol, they're entertaining laws, policies that have already been adopted. Some years ago, some more recent, because as elected officials, as these things come up that raises concerns, it's our responsibility to go back and look at those. And, we don't do that all the time, but I don't see it as a negative. I think it's our responsibility. In this case, a couple concerns come up because of a couple things. Number one, there are already individuals who have expressed interest on these properties. And we're entertaining the resolution tonight because the request is being made to move forward with those two parties that have expressed interest. Those parties have not even come to us and given to us as a body as much as a presentation as to what their interest is in these properties. We haven't seen that as a board. So we haven't had a presentation as a board. As a board, we have not considered together collectively ask questions about their plan with MTA or whoever wants to work help. We haven't talked about how many jobs we provide, what's the how long it's going to take for them to get into the properties, how it's going to impact the community. We as a body have not had those conversations. I've just had casual AMTA is interested. As an elected official, I represent the people. And it's my responsibility to ask those questions and understand that. And so in terms of folks being able to express interest in properties, and that's really not fundamental, concern. If we want to give it to MTA, the administration building, or whoever, it could be whoever, right? But I know who the MTA is. We still can potentially give it to them if they have the best plan, but to pause or to amend our policy to allow for even 2 weeks, it could be 1 week, it could be 1 day, heck, 24 hours for us to post, because if we don't post, the masses won't know. Residents don't even know that they won't know. For them to express their interest, make their best offer, and then we have those as a board to consider. Let folks make their presentations, and then we still can pick MTA or whoever, because they have the best proposal. My concern is not, just up and changing policies. This issue, because it's our headquarters building in particular, raises the question for me: how can we do this in the most transparent way for the public, so that we're all able to be accountable for the process in which we went through to sell this property? So I wanted to say that. So posting, I think, is important. I don't believe that folks will be able to come and express interest, because we already have in mind, the board already knows who those parties are, that Josh is going to enter into negotiations on those properties with. And then when he comes back, then we're going to approve the sale to folks that's already been identified, and we already know who they are. So what I'm looking for here is not beating up any colleague, but I'm just speaking to in terms of changing the policy. I'm not beating anybody up for me, because that's how I feel as one vote. I have one vote just like everybody else. I can do whatever I want. I can raise whatever questions I want. I can give any commentary. That's my right as an elected official and representative of the first district, because of my conviction on how the policy says and how it impacts these collective buildings. I don't feel comfortable voting for it, because I know how strongly I feel about us having an appraisal before we give authority to negotiate, on us having individuals give us a presentation, on us allowing it to be posted so that the residents know that it's up for sale, so that anybody can express their interest. And so, with that said, I respect my colleagues, but that's where I am on it, and I will be looking to review the policy and then bring a resolution forward to make the adjustments that I, as one member of this body, feel need to be made. If folks don't vote for it, just Del Rico suggested it, that's folks' prerogative. But I have a responsibility to the residents that I represent, and again, I appreciate Commissioner Kuzma for giving us some time to express that.
Anyone else? Commissioner Kuzma?
Yeah, just a little clarification. I think Commissioner Coyle just asked guys, if somebody came forward and wanted to talk to them about being more willing to talk to them and entertain them. So everybody's entertained, if you're saying you have people that are interested in contact, please.
No, that's not what I said. I just want to be clear about that, Brad. I'm not suggesting I have anybody that's interested. What I'm suggesting is we're making a decision today that we're going to move forward with enter into negotiations with parties who have already been identified. And we're going to do that without posting it, so that somebody who may not know we're about to do that can express their interest. I don't know anybody that's interested but we haven't even posted it so that there are other interested parties so that they can express it. That's my concern. It's not far-fetched, it's not unreasonable, I think it's, pretty reasonable.
Few things, Mr. Chair, if I may. To Commissioner Lloyd's point, how are they? And we talk about transparency, we want to be transparent with our residents, we want to show them things, but it is not posted, or we don't put it for sale, they don't. Now, a few years back, we sold some property on over in Fort Hero. We listed it, got sold, and if I remember correctly, maybe somebody who was on the board at the time, I think we got more than we listed it. We did.
Negotiation, and I got more than what,
Yep. So for me, not putting it out, one, doesn't seem real transparent. Two, doesn't guarantee we're getting close. Now, if I may continue, Mr. Chair, just a couple questions. The appraisal on the Bird Health Clinic, how long ago was that? 3 years ago? Can we get a date on that? But we all agree that property values, even in the last 2 years, have continued to increase, so those numbers could be off. In the last year, shoot, things have gone different years, up or down enough to go. It might be in a better, they say this might go against this, but having an accurate appraisal seems to be more transparent to our residents. And from there, and the last thing is, I appreciate what Commissioner Lloyd said. I will always continue for my residents in this county choose to try to change things. I respect anyone who does during the process, even if it's passed, because guess what? Things change, boards change. I've watched several boards we've got here, things change really fast. Things certainly don't, but that is our job to try to improve on things. And I think we all agree that at times we thought about some things one way, and then sometimes a few weeks later, a month later, things happen and we come up with them. This for me will always be an issue. I'm sorry. I don't think it'll be irritating me. I ran and will always continue to run with that. It's not my money. It's not my building. It is the residents' building. And I will handle it like my own. I will run every dollar I possibly could. Now, I am realistic to say, guess what, with the administration building, that limits us and it costs some dollars. But if we did put it out in the marketplace, but isn't it worth it to know, for our residents to know, that guess what? We've done everything we could to be fair with the individuals of this town. This is not just these two buildings we're talking about. There have been buildings sold to the whatever you want here. That the process, so that they can split, one group grabs it up, another group grabs it up, it's the same group. We talk about inclusion, we talk about diversity, but guess what? These are the type of policies that don't include that. They don't build on it. Who are we giving the opportunity to gain these buildings or get anything? I'm not just saying these two buildings, these are very specific, and I understand there's another building sold in Michigan. So, I would like to win this, so I see appraisals on everything. Commissioner Cruz was kind enough to be met with us today, asked what would help me feel better about things is appraisals. Accurate appraisals, current appraisals. The things I would like to see it go to the market, because I'm sorry, we went to the market, before you're on, we didn't just sell it, guess what happened? And I think we had investors beforehand that wanted to buy it before we put it for sale. So, I just think, in honesty and fairness to the public, they should have the opportunity to give everyone a chance to buy it and make it a fair spot. So, thank you, Mr. Chair, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to vote for the resolution. However, two things. Rather than stall the current negotiations if they're already in play, I'm going to vote for it. However, I think that at the same time, we should, through our media sources, let the public know that these negotiations does not preclude anyone else from bidding on those two properties. And secondly, I think that the policy does need to be tweaked to include the concerns that Commissioner Lloyd raised, that moving henceforth, that all sales be made aware, that the public be made aware of all properties that the county puts up for sale. So I'd like to, I will vote for it, just to keep the ball rolling, but I'd like to see those two things happen.
Anyone else?
Mr. Chair, just a question to Mr. Freeman through you. What is the timeline, assuming this motion succeeds? You've got parallel negotiations with one with, I think, one with the TA. What's the approximate timeline for each? And is it so short that an entity that learns about this after tonight could not come forward and wanted to express interest?
So I don't have a timeline for you because I haven't authorized to do it. Talked to both of them, they're both interested, but we'll have to sit down and chat and see what it comes up with. I know in terms of the MTA, we've got to finish the appraisal on the building first, before we can do that. I don't have time.
Okay, and then a clarification. Did they approach us or did we approach them?
Both entities reached out to us.
So they reached out to us because they had some sense that these properties might be available.
Right, we've been working on that tower project for a few years maybe. And, during those 3 years, we talked about consolidating 4 buildings into one. Publicly, got beat up for it in some cases. So we reached out knowing that we were going to close Burton Health and consolidate it into the tower. We're going to close the administration building in G Card on North Saginaw Street. And that's really, North Saginaw Street one came about because we were going to close it. There was some interest in the development on site. Same thing for both of the others.
We're not handpicking entities to purchase our properties. They are involved in the community, so they have a sense that this is happening. They approach us. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
I'm sorry, but I have a question. When we went over the numbers for the new building, these figures were already credited in, and before you approved the building, these people knew that the evening was a conversation room. They didn't know whether we're consolidating the health department, or whether we're consolidating G card. We hadn't made that decision when we moved to the building, and yet those numbers were used to sell us the new building, that we were gonna get this much credit towards the new building, $1 million from Burton Fieldhouse. So, before we even made the decision, these people were aware that
This was
something
in
was
the previous commission.
No, that is not how I remember the events. We did apply a dollar amount to those buildings because we knew we were gonna sell those buildings. And we included that in part of our projections, but we did not have buyers for those buildings.
I will tell you this, I don't have a great memory, but I can tell you that Burton and Hamilton brought up when they were showing us the $1 million, and the other commissioners were sitting there with me on that time in board. Should be very sure that's what we said.
We never put a price, and I've got the paperwork that I can show you that was presented to you. We did talk about Hamilton had in the past been interested in purchasing that. They've been interested probably the last 10 or 15 years in having that building. So when we talked about, hey, we think that these buildings are marketable, or we think that these buildings have some value, we included what we expected on the very low end of value for those buildings, because in the past we knew that Hamilton was interested in that, and we figured that we could probably get somebody to purchase that building. I think for Burton Health Department, Derek is here, maybe $500,000 we included in that for the value of the Burton Health. Like, we put a very low number in there to make sure that we weren't, overinflating what we were presenting to the board, because ultimately we're accountable for the information that we presented to you. So that the discussion was around, we think these buildings have value. We know that in the past people were interested in them, but at no time have we had any discussions with anybody prior to
and started talking to them. And at 13 million, I think that, planning or staff showed that, well, we could pay no more than that and make it happen, and it wouldn't cost us any money moving forward. So that was kind of the justification at the point in time to do that. However, I distinctly remember telling the board that there was no way I was going to buy the building that for $13 million without having it appraised first. So we hired a professional appraiser, and I think if my memory serves me right, it came back at 7 million, or was it 5, Josh?
7.1,
7.
something like that.
And they would not lower their price. If they did, it was, maybe 500,000 or something. And I at that point in time, told the board that I was not going to put that on the agenda to buy that. There was absolutely no way that I could justify to, even if we could show that we could save some money, I could not go to the public, the residents that were buying that building, and tell them, we're gonna spend $13 million or $11 million of your money for a building that is only worth a little more than half of that. I just couldn't justify it. And so, at that point in time, it was dropped, and, but there was values put on those various buildings, and somewhere in there, I know Hamilton come forward and showed an interest into it, and that we had it appraised somewhere in there for about $1 million. Maybe that happened in 21, I don't know, after I was gone. But in that 2 years that I didn't serve, that'd be 21 and 22, the whole thing came back into the picture after some behind-the-scenes negotiations, maybe some plant the seed that we did in 2020 with various groups. We need help. We need to borrow some money. And so somewhere in there, in those 2 years that I didn't serve, we bought the building. And I know Sean was there, Ellen was there. I think Charles, Avery, I'm not sure exactly where you come in at that. But you guys bought the building, and then ARPA kicked in, was able to use some money, etc. But you move forward. But those buildings, yes, you know, it's, yeah, they probably weren't posted out. I'll tell you that. Anybody that is interested in properties in the downtown area, they pretty much know about that. That would be my guess. So it isn't a big secret that those buildings have been up for sale, so people can come forward. We can take and put it on our webpage.
believe there's no unfinished business, so.
Mr. Chair,
Oh, yeah,
Mr. Chair,
yes,
well, before we close, I have a comment.
sure,
I don't have a report, thank you.
okay, no report? All right, thank you.
Mr. Chair, I'll make this very brief because I just want to be very clear. We need to learn how to be more respectful of each other on this board. We complain about the city of Flint because we see the chaos and the confusion that takes place over there, but we disrespect each other under our breath at our offices and at this meeting all of the time. Like tonight, when we're having the debate, healthy dialogue, because we all have a right to ask questions and make our perspective known and vote our conscience on behalf of our residents. There's a department head sitting out in the audience making faces when Shoemaker's talking. Very clear that they were disagreeing with what he's saying. And there's a colleague on this side that said to me, I want to get out of here on early tonight or on time. And then while he was talking, started saying we need to put a rule in place to limit the amount folks on the board can talk.
We have a policy for that.
Well, you just told him so.
Well,
Good job.
I have a problem with that. We have a policy that you talk twice on the subject, and you have to give permission.
Mr. Chair, I believe I have the floor. Thank you. She's welcome to speak, but I'm finished. Fact of the matter is this. We're generally, we conduct our business. We don't take a long time. 99% of the time we run right through our agendas. There may be one issue that a colleague speaks up on and wants to have some dialogue. That's healthy. This isn't a radical war. It isn't out of line. But just because you disagree with the person's perspective, I spoke up for Commissioner Shoemaker last time we talked about the prior resolution because the former chair wanted to shut him down and ridicule him in the meeting. And I said, hey, I don't think you should shut him down. You should let him speak. And he thanked me in the meeting because we shouldn't do that. So this is where I am with it. If we want to be a board that's respectful and want to be the light in the community in terms of how we interact, let's do that. But if we're going to interact a different way, then I'll just start having press conferences. I'll start holding community meetings in districts. I'll go out and start letting the public know how we really conduct ourselves and how we handle business and some of the things that we do. That's the nuclear option. But here's the deal. I didn't get appointed. I didn't just become almost elected as well. I didn't come down here to play games with my responsibility as commissioner here. So I'm just saying to colleagues, let's keep it smooth, let's keep it professional, let's be civil, and let's be respectful. And if we don't want to do that, then hey, we can have other discussions. But there's a whole lot of stuff and a lot of issues I have with the way we conduct business as a county that I have not raised for respect for my colleagues and respect the fact that everybody has an election except me. I got a whole lot of stuff I want to raise and bring to the table, but I haven't out of respect for my colleagues because it will force them to put their true positions on the record for the public to know it. I'm being respectful. I'm just asking for the same respect.